Welcome to our online open day, our live open broadcast from one of our classrooms at KABK. Very sorry that we cannot have you all here in the building, but it is what it is. My name is Maartje Lammers. I'm teacher and coordinator in preparatory courses. With me today are my colleagues Gosse de Kort and Kim Nuijen, both teachers in preparatory year, who will do the Q&A. Huub van der Loo is our director of the day, together with Rafael Diederen, our producer, and Eva Schram, who's holding the camera, you cannot see. We start with preparatory year and then at some point move over to School for Young Talent, where Jan van Bils, the director of our School of Young Talent, is answering questions you might have concerning School for Young Talent. And the last part of our program is orientation course. But I would like to start with questioning these three people in front of me. Madeleine, why did you choose prep year?
It's kind of weird to repeat it, but I chose prep year kind of quick because I went here from out of high school and decided quite late that I wanted to do art. But then I kind of started orientating on, orientation courses in art schools and also the preparatory year at the KABK. And I kind of saw it and it interested me, and then I visited the school and went to some of the online talks because everything was online then. And I decided to apply.
What convinced you to apply here?
That's kind of a hard question.
What convinced you, Agatha, to apply here?
The feeling I got from the place. That's what convinced me. I felt very at home. So I was like, I need to go here.
I have the same feeling, but let's not make that joke. Now you have been here for a couple of months. How did it influence your choice of departments?
I'm more sure of what I want to do now because I went to the prep year with quite an open view. I didn't really know what I wanted to do that, but I'm quite sure I want to go to the direction of interactive media design or anything similar with it, not necessarily at the KABK. But that's all I get.
Okay. Our next guest, Luna, all the way from France, and applied in The Hague.
Yeah.
Why?
Why in The Hague?
Speak up a bit, actually.
Because I met a girl in Iceland, and she is studying here in photography since 2 years. And she told me about the school, that it's a really nice place, that's also a small city near the beach. And I thought that it could be a good fit. Yeah.
And Agatha, in your hometown, why not Amsterdam? Why not Rotterdam? Why not Iceland? Why in The Hague? Why KABK?
I'm repeating myself, but because I really stood strong.
But feeling at home was after you came here.
No, actually it wasn't. I visited the open days in 2018, I think, for the first time. And since then I've been returning to a lot of open days and graduation shows, and every time I just feel a strong connection. And I've also been doing that with other schools, and this was the connection that I felt the most.
What would you recommend to possible new applicants?
What would I recommend to do? Like to,
if they want to apply the prep year, how do you prepare yourself for an admission?
I think you should go in there, as Madeline said, with a very open view and prepare yourself for an admission with everything that you feel connected to, because what I oftentimes felt is that I wanted to make work that would please the school or please an application, but I think if you put in the work you really want to show, then Um, sorry, I got a little bit distracted because of technical issues.
We're getting questions you can talk louder.
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course. So if you show work you really want to show, then you are showing yourself, and then I think that's the best way to go into an application.
Thank you. What I propose now is to switch to one of our pre-recorded videos. These were made, the mask videos were made as part of our TSA class, the time-space audience. Enjoy, I'll see you back in a couple of minutes. Well, and in the meantime, I have three new guests next to me. Emily, um, how did prep year change the way you work?
Well, I think with the help of support as well from the community, I think that makes you more confident and makes you want to do work more. And I think that the prepare really shows you not to be afraid of what you produce, even if it's not for yourself. I think you should go for it, and that's what I learned.
And if I remember well, you already applied, you tried to do admission in interior architecture,
Yes.
right?
And instead of getting accepted, I was advised to do the preparatory year.
And how do you look at that now? I assume you were disappointed not being admitted.
Yeah, of course. It's
But
only
how-
natural. I think you have to really appreciate time, and not everything comes when you want it. And I think that's something like patience is key in that moment, and things will come in the end. And I think from the preparatory year, I gained a lot more than I would have thought of.
I would say you gained a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amira,
Yes.
your start in KABK, like preparatory year, was not your first preparatory course. You started with orientation course before,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What do you think is the difference, or what was it for you, the difference between orientation course and preparatory year?
I think personally in the orientation course, you get to know the building, you get to know workshops, you see the building, you explore. And during prep year, you get really the feeling of how our school works, how the way of working is, how the people are, how the community is, and how like you have to like kind of feel at home in a place. And that's what prep year does for me.
And what kind of departments are you considering applying?
I'm considering fine arts right now. This was still kind of my choice when I applied to prep year. It didn't change, but it opens a lot of options, prep year does, but I chose to stick to my first option.
Thank you. And Andra, what did prep year do for you?
it definitely opened my eyes more towards the process and not only the final outcome of my artwork. It definitely made me focus more on what I do and to explore more uh, design areas, more artistic uh, fields, and not focus only on interior architecture. Definitely, I'm very open to studying graphic design now and still interior architecture.
Well, thank you. I think we're ready for our next pre-recorded movie. This time, enjoy the table performances. After that, we will be back with one small round of interviews before we move on in the building. Maybe at the end of this broadcast, we get the hang of it a little bit. Of course, we're improvising. I changed position, and next to me are the three last students for small interview. Jasna, you also started at KABK with orientation course. Yeah. We hear them applauding next to us in the corridor. What did orientation course bring you, and what did prep year bring you so far?
With orientation course, it was very general. It was like they showed you the opportunities that you could do here at school and what's possible. The prep here you really get to actually experience those things, and you really get to do bigger group projects and a lot more feedback sessions. And I honestly learned a lot more from prep here. Also about the school, about art, but also about myself and how I work. And I think that's important.
Will you apply at KABK?
Yes, I will.
Okay, our next guest is Aukje. And Aukje stepped in on, because of Thijs in being in quarantine, so you're sort of jumped in the hole that Thijs left behind for today. And of course, with you in front of me, with the color of your hair, I can only ask you, like, was your hair already this color when you started prep here, or did you dye it while at KABK?
No, I've been dyeing my hair for years now. But it's really nice to be surrounded by people that are also really creative and all look very creative and very fun.
And have different colors, hair colors, right?
Different hair colors, different clothes, everything.
So if you try to summarize what did Prep Year bring you so far?
It made me look different at how I work. I definitely am now focusing more on process. I think I work a lot bigger, taking more into consideration when I start a project. And it's also just give me an overview of what my options are, because I think when you're first applying, it can be really intimidating to see all different bachelors and admissions. And Prep Year definitely gave me more confidence.
Thank you. And Ties, I think you would like to say something about the artwork hanging here, is that true?
Yeah, I can say something about the artwork, but almost about most of the artwork hanging here. And I want to show this to you, to the whole audience, because I think that there's still a lot of people that are applying, and also me that applies to Prep Year, think that art has to be something that you have to paint or you have to draw. But it can actually be anything, and you can actually just play around and have fun. And that was actually what I was trying to say with showing you this, is that maybe you would not, maybe it's weird to see, or maybe it's something, but I had a lot of fun making it, and I think you guys could do things like that as well. So yeah.
Thank you. I think that's a nice recommendation.
Mostly have fun.
I would slowly try to wrap up this session. For those watching, we do not have strict deadlines. The bachelor departments all have deadlines May 1st. Prep Year doesn't have strict deadlines. You can sign up whenever you're ready. At this moment, our last admission day is planned in July. If need be, we'll have an extra one in August, preferably not. If you have questions, you can always write voortraject@kabk.nl. You find that on the website. Thank you, Prep Year students. We will go and start walking through the building towards School for Young Talent. And in the meantime, you can enjoy with the last little pre-recorded video from what's going on in Prep Year.